Remember when I did this video a month ago right here where I reported that Adele and Kevin Costner had apparently rejected Meghan Markle's scam jam? Well, it looks like Kevin Costner is rejecting our Megxie all over again. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye, and oh my goodness, yeah. Let's jump into this one, shall we? So recently, Kevin Costner has actually been named as number one on the list of people's annual 100 Reasons to Love America issue. And yeah, this is what Kevin Costner had to say about the royal family. Here we go.
I was going to make a second one a bodyguard. That was really flying down the tracks in a way, very quietly, because that's how I operate. I really keep things to myself.
So here he's talking about The Bodyguard 2, the rumored sequel that unfortunately never was, and here's why.
That's why when it finally emerged that Princess Di was going to maybe do that, we talked, it was so sweet, and Sarah was the one that set this up. Sarah was very cool, the Duchess. When she could have been like going, well, I'm a princess too, what about me? She didn't do that at all. She was going, no, I'm going to make this happen, Kev. And she did. I always respected her that she never inserted herself, and
Yeah, always respected the Duchess Fergie for never inserting herself in the Bodyguard sequel. But who has in recent years? Stay tuned on this video because I'm linking all the pieces together here.
And Diana and I began to talk. And I ultimately had a very sweet conversation about 15 years later with Prince William. I happened to be over in England and got this message that the prince would love to talk to William. I said, what? And he goes, he's here, he'd like to talk to you. So I went like, okay.
If I got the message that Prince William wanted to talk to the likes of me, I'd be like, I'd be freaking out. So Kevin Costner is a pretty cool customer indeed. That is for certain.
I've never talked about this, but I can because of how I very much respect him. But I think it's a story.
He very much respects Prince William. He ain't saying that he respects Prince Hazard, though, that's for sure.
Worthwhile about him, and it's a little bit, since we're talking about this, I've had an incredibly unusual, for the most part, beautiful life. And so we met in this room that the chairs were still stacked on chairs. It was just us. I'm sure there was somebody out. It was just him and I met. There's nobody else. And he walked up and we sat down and we shook hands, and the first line out of his mouth was, he says, you know, my mom kind of fancied you.
I mean, you know, he's not bad looking now, to be fair, guys, but back in the day, in the 90s, oh yeah, he was definitely a heartthrob, certainly then.
I know. And we talked about a half hour. I'll never say what we talked about, but it was a very sweet thing. And we just chatted, and we both broke away, and we never became pen pals or did anything like that. But I've had such fond memories of who he was, how I was approached, and what we talked about.
Now, it's interesting how Kevin Costner is saying he has fond memories of his time with Prince William, but isn't saying the same thing in that clip for Prince Harry and Megxie, right? When they were at that event that he was holding back in September last year, right? Now, it's interesting that he says that when back in the day he was speaking to Duchess Fergie, Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, right? That she had tried to set up this meeting between him, Kevin, and Princess Diana to be in The Bodyguard to the sequel. And he turned around and he said something very, very interesting, that he respected Sarah Ferguson's choice not to try and insert herself into the sequel as well, to be like, hey, I'm part of the royal family too, let me have a role. But guess who did? Yeah, Megxie, right? So this was going all around the news cycle, right? Around about this time last year, that apparently Megxie was considering a role in the Bodyguard 2 movie. And it was said that apparently Kevin Costner was trying to pitch this sequel idea to Megxie, who was apparently interested. A source telling New Idea magazine, quote, "The only thing Kevin loves more than an underdog like Megxie is a box office hit." But guess what? That rumour was completely rubbished and debunked pretty much 24 hours later, because one source was saying, no. Megxie ain't being considered for anything because she's on everybody's no hire list. And so reports linking Megxie to the Bodyguard sequel have been branded a crock of you-know-what due to the Duchess's absolutely toxic brand. And so here you have Kinsey Schofield talking to Jeremy Kyle on Talk TV, which is a UK programme, saying, quote, "I think that this is the biggest crock of you-know-what. I won't say it, this is a family show, but the audacity of somebody to start this rumour," right? There's no way in hell that Kevin Costner is picking up the phone and calling Meghan Markle saying, "I want to make this iconic sequel with you." She is on everybody's no hire list right now. Her brand is absolutely toxic. He had created that role for Princess Diana. As you know, he was explaining in this particular clip right here, right? She was going back and forth with him at the time of her unalivement over a nude scene, trying to get a nude scene written out. I mean, that story is so iconic that it just offends me beyond all comprehension that the Megxie crew, this is what she's saying, would try to hijack this story by casting Megxie in the sequel. And like Kevin Costner said right here in this clip, he respected the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, turning round and saying, "Look, have Princess Diana in your Bodyguard 2 sequel," and at the same time not trying to insert herself into the Bodyguard 2 sequel, which Kevin Costner said she could have easily done, but she didn't, and he respected her more for not doing that. Yet, who tried to, as far as I'm concerned, elbow her way into the Bodyguard 2 sequel? Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Megxie. So here we go. As far as I'm concerned, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Yet another absolute rejection by Kevin Costner. Rejecting Megxie, not wanting pretty much anything to do with her whatsoever. Good, huh? With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and believe me, of course there's going to be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe, because I'll be honest with you, help us now get to 1 million so we can also get that gold play button right there and hopefully cause a Meghan Markle meltdown on Instagram. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about Kevin Costner, yet again, rejecting Megxie, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.